All right, greetings all. So, yeah, I just wanted to talk about Harley Davidson because it's pretty cool. And, Harleys are called hogs. The reason why is because when Harley Davidson's first got it started, their racing team, which was called the Wrecking Crew, had a piglet that was their mascot. And whenever they won a race, they would drive around the whatever it was they raced in with the piglet on their Harley, and it became called Harley's Hogs. And somehow that evolved into where Harleys are called hogs. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But let's just look at the chart of Harley Davidson because you can see the same principles of charts on pretty much any stock. So when I look at this, the first thing I see here is, oh, look at that. We found support, the same level that was support. So this price is going down. I don't know what was going on last October, um, but the stock found support right around the same level that it found support in July. This isn't a coincidence. A lot of times stocks find support at levels that had been support before. Look, you can even go back to January. So it's very clear whether you're, a member of a motorcycle club who's a metal worker or you're some Wall Street douchebag um, who looks at charts, you can tell that, there's support of this former support level. Now, why does this happen? Well, people sell at the bottom and then the stock blasts off. And the people who sold, a lot of them regret it. And they say, man, I made a mistake. If I could ever buy my stock back at the same price I sold them for, I will buy them. So when the stock finally returns to the level that had been support, remorseful sellers placing buy orders can make what was support become support again. You can see that right down here. Same thing. Now, here we have the opposite buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse can make levels that, sorry, I just want to get rid of that. Buyer's remorse can make levels that have been resistance become resistance again. There's people who bought here who regret doing so when the price goes lower. And they say, gee, if it ever gets back to my price and I can get out of break even, I'm going to. So when the stock finally returns to their level and they can get out of break even, they sell. You can see it here. So levels that were resistance can become resistance again because of buyer's remorse. People buy, they regret doing so. They get the chance to get out of break even, they take it. Same thing here. All right, let's see what else we can look at. One of the really interesting things about charts is that what I call the fractal nature of them. You could see the same stuff on charts of different time horizons because really what you're looking at is just the psychology of people that trade different time horizons, but they have the same emotions. All right. So we can see here resistance, the level that was resistance became resistance again. Technical analysis gets a bad rap, but it's because so many of the people that do it just really suck. And it's an embarrassment in a lot of ways. And people that get into Gann theory and Elliott wave, that's just nonsense. Technical analysis, if done right, is basically the study of supply and demand and psychology. So anyway, I've never had a Harley, but now that I'm in a midlife crisis, maybe I'll buy one. But I'm afraid to drive my car fast, so I don't think I'd be a good motorcycle dude. But check that out. Support at a former support level. In the stock market, some price levels are more important than others. That's just how it is. For some reason, this stock likes the 2280 level and it likes the 2580 level. 3 points. Perfectly 3 points, right? So, what I teach is pay attention to the important levels, pay attention to the momentum, pay attention to the trends. And that's where the success comes from. This is not a chess game. This is not finance. This is psychology. All right, everyone. I hope that helps. Hopefully tonight there will be some show on the History Channel about like the Hells Angels or some cool thing I can watch. And I will see you all tomorrow.